Greetings and welcome to another edition of The Great Goddess. Praise be to Goddess. Praise be to Goddess. Well, here it is, another Wednesday, and today we have for you the subject: how is it you're really feeling today? How are you really feeling? If you're totally honest with yourself, how is it you're really feeling? Because sometimes we lie to others about how we're feeling, but most of all, we lie to ourselves about how we're feeling. We say everything's great when it's not great. So how is it you're really feeling today? Are you feeling happy? Are you feeling sad? Are you feeling nervous? Are you feeling mad? What is it that you're really feeling? Now, I know there's a lot of controversy in the world. Cohen is testifying against Trump, and it makes some people mad, and it makes some people happy, and it makes some people sad. But besides current events, what's happening in your personal world? In your world, your personal space and your personal relations with your friends and family. How is it you're really feeling? All too often we're not honest with ourselves. And why are we not honest with ourselves? Well, because we have to keep functioning. And sometimes emotions can get in the way of functioning in our day-to-day lives. So we lie to ourselves, and we keep on lying for years and years. We lie to ourselves and to our friends and family about how we're really feeling, And this can cause all sorts of problems for a person, in everything from our personal relationships to our internal environment and our dialogue with ourselves. It affects everything, trust me. So we've got to be honest with ourselves, and we've got to tell ourselves what it is that we're really feeling. We have to be honest. And so we sit down with ourselves, and maybe a therapist if that helps, and come clean. Just tell ourselves how we're really feeling. Be completely honest. And maybe you hate everyone. Maybe you're just ready to throw in the towel, and you hate everyone, and there's nothing worth fighting for anymore, and you're just like, forget this. I'm out of here. And that's okay. You can feel that way. Just don't check into the Bates Motel too soon. Before you decide to go psycho, try to think of another solution. Maybe for you that solution is picking up and moving. You don't have to end it all. You don't have to kill yourself or kill anyone else. Just pick up and move. And if you're an adult, you can do this quite easily. If you're a teenager, it's harder, but you can still do it. There's ways. There's teen shelters for people who are desperate and have nowhere else to turn. Just talk to someone at your school. That's another solution if you're a teenager. But there's always a solution, and there's always a way out. So if you're in a bad situation, get out of it now. And you just have to be honest with yourself. If you hate everyone, be honest and tell yourself that you hate everyone. But that doesn't mean you want to go killing people. Obviously, you don't want to kill people. Then you'll be locked up. So if you're in a bad situation and you want out, get out. Just Like Michael Jackson says, just beat it. And by beat it, he doesn't mean beating somebody up. By beat it, he means walk away. Walk away from the bad situation and don't get immersed in it. So being honest with your feelings is the very beginning. That's the beginning of your journey. Getting out of a bad situation is another part, maybe another part of your journey. Maybe it's not so bad. Maybe you don't want out and you're just trying to cope the best you can. But sometimes it's better to move on. Like if you're in a bad dead-end job and it's a bad job and the boss is abusive of you and your coworkers are abusive of you, just get out. Just get out. Just walk away. Sometimes you have to walk away in life, and you have to do it more often than you would like to, and you feel like a quitter, but sometimes it's for the best. And so be honest with yourself. Be honest about your feelings. Tell yourself how it is you're really feeling today, and you can make a difference in your life, and it can last a long time. Now, for those of you who are actually on a purification diet and who are interested in getting healthier and doing an internal cleanse, I have some more advice for you. It's great that you want to be healthier and get clean inside, and one way you can do that is by avoiding salt. I found out just this week that salt is incredibly constipating. I know it's an embarrassing subject, but it is. Salt is constipating. So you want to cut salt out of your diet. And if you're eating a lot of soup like I do, if you're eating a lot of soup, that can be constipating because the salt in the soup constipates you. So I recommend making your own soup. Make your own soup from scratch. Don't buy soup out of a can. Don't buy it from a store because that's just going to constipate you. You don't want to have anything that's going to constipate you. So make your own soup. And some ideas for soup include meatless chili with just beans and you can use salsa as a base for a chili, or you can use canned tomatoes and bell peppers and onions. Another idea for soup is lentil soup. It's very high in protein and very nourishing, and you can add carrots and onions to lentil soup and tomatoes if you're so inclined. And you can make vegetable soup. That's another option. Vegetable soup, take cans of green beans, add onions and carrots, and vegetable broth, and tomatoes, but no grain, because grain is constipating, so you don't want grains. So vegetable soup, lentil soup, and chili. You can also make bean soup with just black beans and onions, or you can add carrots to it if you like. So those are some ideas for some soups for you. And you can make it south of the border if you want. Add some lime juice. That lime juice is a good addition to any soup. If you want to jazz up lentil soup and make it more interesting, you can add Chinese 5-spice powder. I added Chinese 5-spice powder to my lentil soup the other day. A little goes a long way, but it's really good. So, and also to bean soup, you can add cumin. You can add coriander. Those are some good spices to add to soup, bean soup. And just use your imagination. Let your imagination run wild. And also, it's always okay to add hot spices. Not too much, because hot spices can irritate the lining of your intestinal tract. It can burn you inside. But if you just use a little heat goes a long way, and that can go a long way to making the soup tastier. So lots of soups you can make. No cream soups. Potatoes are okay in a soup. but no grain. And also another suggestion for purification is during the day to avoid nut butters. You can have nuts. You don't even have to chew them that well. You can have nuts and seeds, sesame seeds and sunflower seeds, but avoid nut butters and seed butters like tahini and peanut butter and all that. Why? Because it's like a paste. It's like a paste, and it turns it, and it stays paste when it gets inside of you. It binds things up. So you want to avoid those during the day. At night you can have some, but not a lot. Restrict yourself to 2 tablespoons full for a day, so that you're not constipated. And so nut butters avoid. You can have nuts and seeds, and also avoid salt. Avoid salt in all forms. Let's see some salty foods. Soup is the biggest offender because soup is full of sodium. Soy sauce is full of salt, so avoid using excess amounts of soy sauce. Corn chips are salty, so you might want to avoid corn chips if you want to avoid constipation. Any chips in general are salty. They add salt to all chips. So potato chips too. Avoid fried foods because grease can cause you to have unpleasant diarrhea. And so avoid grease, avoid oil, avoid margarine during the day. At night you can have greasy foods, but keep it to a minimum because you don't want to have the problem I mentioned before. So that's what to avoid and when to eat and what to do. Those are just some suggestions for your purification diet because you're trying to get healthier and you're trying to do a colon cleanse, obviously, and some of those foods can interfere. So just take it easy and don't get too excited. I'm not telling you what to do or what to eat. You don't have to do purification if you don't want to. But it's a suggestion to do it once a year because it's good for you and it can really help with your colon health and your health in general because it can help clear heavy metals out of your system and toxins. And it's also another great way to get closer to Goddess because when you're healthy, you're in a more pure state of mind also because a pure body helps to purify the mind. If your body isn't pure, your mind won't be pure. And when your mind is pure, you're closer to Goddess. So it's one way to get closer to Goddess is to get healthy and to do a fast on soups and smoothies for a while so that you can clean yourself out and get rid of all that garbage. I'm Sarah Jane Anfulo signing off. Have a terrific week and be honest about your feelings.